seeing nom-noms on your menu here. Are they in the combo platter? Oh, greetings, Podquesters. Last episode, our new IC crew, trademark pending, of Name, Blag, Knock, and Violex was gathered in Fizzle Pop village when a giant snatched up one of its denizens. Violex leapt to the small gnome's defense, with the rest following her outside to help confront the giant. However, despite their best efforts, the giant still lifted the frightened gnome to its open maw and shook it vigorously, emptying the contents of the gnome's pockets into his mouth. Just a few apples, really. Realizing it wasn't the gnomes the giant was after, Violex cast a spell that produced a whole pile of apples, so mediocre in quality that they have henceforth been dubbed crapples. Its hunger satisfied, the giant ambled off back to its brethren. Finally, proper introductions were made, and Violex officially joined the group. Together, they all accompanied the wizard Wanzeldorf down the elevators to the village proper, briefly met Name's father, and discovered why Wanzeldorf was sent to find Name in the first place. Fizzle Pop's prize crop is Fizzle Root, used to make Fizzle Pop pop, and a mysterizzle dizizzle is threatenizzle the plazizzles. A mysterious disease is threatening the plants. Together with the surrounding resources being devoured by the clan of giants nearby, the village is in bad shape. Will our group of friends, new and old, figure out a way to help? Hopefully they know their botany, or at least do really well on their intelligence check.
We'll go over to the plants. He has, as a furbog, he has the ability to communicate with plants. Mm-hmm. He cannot understand anything in return, but plants and beasts can understand him. And he'll say, "Hey, little plants, just shake this off."
And they're all better. Problem solved.
I knew it!
Fixed. Around
They
the
just weren't feeling well.
Furbog.
Oh, furbogs. I love them so much.
No effect, huh? All right.
Well. I did read that ability. I thought that was interesting. You
Yeah.
can talk to plants and animals. You can't understand them back. It's like, so anybody?
Yeah.
That's true.
But they understand.
Yeah.
You're screaming out for help, and you just can't understand it.
They're fine.
Oh.
Name,
Walk.
what
Forget about
seems
it.
to have befallen your father? Was he this way when you left?
It's a great question that a caring son would have asked. But now I feel like a jerk.
So, to change the subject,
Sorry.
do you have... you mentioned mother and the girls. Are you married? Are they children? Are they your sisters?
They're my
What family
sisters,
do you
that's
have?
gross.
You married your sisters?
Yeah, it's gross.
I knew Gnomish society was free in thinking.
I have a father, a mother, and 3 siblings. The father's name is David the Gnome Whizzle.
David the Gnome. Oh my
You don't have to say any more. I love it.
That's fantastic.
Middle
my
name,
God.
Dunno.
Yeah, the middle name is
Middle-
Gnome.
Wait, is his middle name Duh? And then it's
Yeah,
Gnome?
just one word,
D-A-N-O-M-E.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's awesome.
Yeah, my mother is Aha Whizzle
Oh my god.
The siblings are Sonona, Enona, and Imena, if I can pronounce them correctly.
You came up with them.
I did, but no.
Pronunciation you want.
They're all the word name in other language.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I didn't know the gnome meant name in other names.
Yeah, it's a little known fact.
It's actually
It's
David.
a little gnome
It's a
fact.
little known fact.
Boom.
We're on top of that. Good night.
Yeah, that was well
That took a second
played.
to sink in.
Ben's
Sorry,
not
Knock.
impressed.
No, I am. I'm sad I didn't get it right away.
Oh my god.
It just took a while to get up there.
We'll get there. We'll get there in the end. Oh man.
Well, it is lovely to have met your father, for however brief, and someday I hope to meet the rest of your family as well. Perhaps we can help them with their afflictions.
Yeah, I feel like I should go check them out, but that doesn't
they
seem like it helps the
inside?
narrative.
Also sounds like maybe they're being quarantined.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, I'll go try to talk to my family.
What are we doing?
May I
Staying
accompany you?
You
behind?
can come in the house. You can poke around. The fridge is full.
Can I fit inside your house?
Your family's not in the house. They're out helping people.
Oh,
Can I fit outside your house?
you do? Yes.
Oh, good.
Wonderfully. All right, we'll go. What we're supposed to.
All right, so basically what he said to you is you have 2 options here. The herbalist, you can see what she did or did not find out about the plans, or
Kill all
you can
the
go
ogres.
Didn't necessarily say kill. He said the word resolve.
You said go to war with. That means we have to
Go
kill
to
them.
war. I'm pretty sure the word resolve was used.
Yeah, like a final resolution.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Welcome to the group.
I guess we can go to the herbalist first.
That would be my preferred method, yes. That giant hurt my bottom.
This is really turning into a marijuana episode. I'm just going to say the word.
What?
We're gonna be really big in California
It's gonna be huge.
and Colorado.
This cave smells like Otto's jacket.
You head up, back up to where the trading area was, the shopping district. Thank you. And
You're welcome.
yeah, I know. It's like and you head over to where the herbalist is, and you enter the shop, and you see her like running between plants, watering things, and everything in here is not looking good. They're all dying, and she's like throwing fertilizer, making potions, dropping them into things, just doing everything she can, but nothing in here looks good.
Before we did that, we walked past some shops, and I saw like the latest gnome fashions in the window. I'm just like, Wrath would have loved this place.
Aww.
And then I keep moving. Go to the shop.
I believe you would have gotten along with Wrath.
Perhaps it takes me a while. I am a bit suspicious. Sorry, this is not my first language.
I can tell.
Suspicious. I'm a bit suspicious of
So was he-
my kind.
Oh.
Oh yeah, does anybody have I described what I look like?
No.
Not really.
Okay.
Drop it.
Would anybody like to know what I look like?
I would love to know what you look like.
Because you can't
friend.
see me
Not
because you're
until it's
blind right
described,
now. So I'm
blindness.
tall. I'm about 6 feet tall for a girl. I'm like slender. I have a muscular
Wait, girls
build.
have a different measurement than guys?
Well, I as a human girl, I'm just pretty tiny. I think tieflings are about human equivalent, so they're not real big either. I don't think. But yeah, I'm like slender, a little bit muscular. I'm just gonna read off of my description. I have like a pale lavender, kind of smoky gray skin,
Great.
and I've got long whitish silver hair that's usually kind of just down and wavy, and I've got long kind of like impala shaped horns that go back, which are also white, and my eyes are violet.
Wait, what was the impala? I don't get the impala reference. I was actually not making a joke for once. I don't know what that means.
like the type of horns, like
An impala is an animal, not just a car.
That's a really weird car.
I'm shaped like a car. D&D has cars
Sam
now.
and Dean are in me.
Yeah. They're like
Good night, everybody.
they're like long and skinny. They're like long and skinny. Does that make sense? Like kind of curved like that.
I get it now. Thank you.
For the people at home, just Google it. And then, and I've got just some kind of chainmail on. I wear some colors that are mostly like kind of blues and purples and grays. And I am extremely, extremely beautiful. Because if I can be a fucking D&D character, you're goddamn right. I'm going to make myself super hot.
I made my character completely short, scrawny, and like hawkish and features.
Dude, if in make-believe land, you better believe I'm going to be a fox.
Why do you think I'm like 7 feet tall and muscular in the
Hey,
game?
man, why not? It's
Like,
fun.
nope, no short fat guys here. Just barbarian muscle man.
I think that's why they made D&D.
That's
right?
exactly
Right?
why they did D&D.
Exactly.
So I could go to the gym, or
Or I could play a tabletop game on a podcast with my friends.
That's
It's
what I'm
a lot
doing.
easier, but it really isn't on my end.
No?
I think it might be easier to go to the gym.
don't ever say that.
Blasphemy.
Get out. I'll take over.
I will go.
I will go now.
Alright, so you get to the herbalist and all that stuff that I said happened.
Thank you for describing yourself on the way to the herbalist.
No problem. I wanted to make sure everybody
Appreciate
understood.
that.
All right. So in the herbalist, I think Nock would walk around and just be examining the plants.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Is they're all sick from some sort of disease going through them, and it does not seem normal.
If nobody else has anything to say, I just introduce myself to the herbalist, and I say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm new in this town, and I just have a question for you. Do you have any magic users in the area that may have a problem with your people?"
Not that I know of. The only real wizard user I know around here is the chief wizard, and he's down on the bottom floor in the tower if you really need him. And she says that as she doesn't stop, just darting between all these plants, throwing fertilizer, pouring potions, and doing things.
Just like trying to keep them alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems we must visit this wizard. I overheard you.
The only other person I could think of is Train Torker, the traveling trinket trader and treatment and transporter, but he hasn't been around in quite some time.
I can't say that. Let's go to the wizard.
Weren't we just talking with the wizard?
Yes, I believe I saw you pass earlier with him. Yes, that was him.
Wow, Bonnie, you look really nice. You've taken this over from your parents?
Oh, yes, they retired after everything happened, but then they moved out of town, and I really couldn't go with them because somebody had to stay behind and take care of all the plants.
Somebody else stayed behind to take care of the plants, so what did you take care of the plants for? How did you handle that?
Oh, first I had to go out and get some new fertilizer, but we were all out of it, so I had to travel over to the Furbo town, and they had some nice fertilizer. I brought it back, and I've been trying to do this to keep it alive, but it hasn't been working great.
Did you go into the fertilizer? Did you take care of all the fertilizing plants? I mean, the fertilizer Go, fertilizer B, fertilizer A. What did you use?
Oh, you had to use a new one over, they came up over in the
Knock
Furbo
leaves.
country.
Knocked out.
Felix is like having a stroke.
I just want to know.
Name just like reaches back and hands you one of his little shiny invention toys for you to just keep you busy.
Clang, clang. Cling, clang.
It's a little Ferguson.
Ooh. Fergus.
Yeah,
It's Fergus's son.
yeah, Ferguson's son.
Okay.
Someday I'll get that right. It's still a really shitty version of him. They just Name never got it
It's
down.
fine. Like, winds it up, because I'm assuming there's a windy thing
It is
on
now.
The helmet opens and closes and chatters a little bit.
Yeah, it's the actually you can put your candy inside of it, but it tries to bite you when you pull it out.
Okay, but I already put the candy in my mouth.
No,
I
now-
didn't bite me.
Yeah.
For those at home and for Lauren, Fergus was a golden suit of living armor that was dwarven size and made good friends with Name before he turned traitor.
Before he turned what?
Traitor on everybody. And then Name ended up being quite fascinated with him and made a series of toys out of him.
Name actually went deep inside of him and figured out things.
Literally climbed in the armor.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
he wasn't happy. But I made improvements so that when he turned on us, he hit harder.
It was really ready for the
Oh, my God.
In his
Well
defense,
done.
defense, he didn't have a choice.
Oh.
I'm really sorry, I've been very busy, so I have to get to this, but I would recommend either checking in with the wizard if you think you have more to say, or waiting until Train Torker, the traveling trinket trader and treatment of transporters, returns, but he hasn't been seen in a while, but he'd probably be back sometime soon. He should be due. Alright, bye!
Name, you're going to have to translate.
Could you repeat most of that?
I missed about 99.9%
Oh
of
my
everything
God,
she
it's
just said.
Yeah, she said leave.
Okay.
But that's what's on plans.
Oh, not anymore. These are kind of
Leave.
sick
I guess
looking.
that's
They're
true.
not looking great. She's not as good as her mom is. Let's go, guys!
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Flag is still playing with his toy, but he follows Nami.
As they
Come on,
walk
Black.
out, Nock turns around. Is that over?
So what over?
Whatever just happened in there. My head hurts too much for this.
It's called a conversation.
It was what furbogs tend to have a slower pace of life. Your fast speech is incomprehensible to me.
He would love to pat him on the head, so he just pats him behind the back of the knee and just like, some embraces are slower than others. It's okay. He hands you a little shiny toy.
Interesting.
Would you like to play?
He just hands it to Black.
Flag will
Good call.
play.
I put my
Black.
arm through Blag's arm and I say, we will play together sometime if you want.
We can play.
Absolutely.
I will put these away till we can play, so I do not damage them.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
I just like that Leech is sitting here like he has action figures in his hand and he's taking them fight.
He's in character.
Oh, I'm gonna love having fun with this 10-year-old barbarian. I'm so fucking excited.
Flag needs a little fun. He's
Yes, he does.
He's having a little round.
He's had a lot of bad days.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Oh.
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
We go to the tavern, get drinks for the adults and milk for Blag, and we kind of get some more information to figure out what's been going on.
Alright, yeah. You mill about the tavern and you ask, and it basically everybody comes down to the same information. Giants are eating everything outside of town. Everything inside of town seems to be sick and dying. And even if you start to go outside of town, right outside of it, is also the plants aren't doing well. So it seems like it might be spreading.
Do the giants have any magical enemies?
Nobody knows. The Giants really don't have a lot of friendly contact. They basically come down and steal their food. On a few occasions, the reason they had to lower the cave entrance was because the giants were storming in, rampaging down through the bottom, and just like walking through looking for food, but also like oddly looking like they were checking things out, and then they would leave, but just being so big and not so smart, they would wreck entire things. Every time they went down the holes, they just jumped and would wreck these giant spinning wheels and everything that they had. And then they'd try to use the ropes to climb back up, and sometimes they'd break and fall and have to try to use a different hole, and it was just...
But they're not eating the gnomes, they're just stealing their crops.
Yes.
Okay, well that's interesting.
Yeah.
But the crops then are feeding the giants. Perhaps someone has a grudge against the giants, and the gnomes are simply collateral.
That is an interesting point.
I'm usually wrong.
Well, I still appreciate the thought. I think
Thank
it is
you.
a good point. We
I
never know. We
appreciate
don't
that.
know. Well,
Name would also like to use this time to introduce everyone to Fizzle Pop Pop.
wait.
Go for it.
Tell us
It's
more.
the drink from the actual roots of the plants.
Oh, so it's pop made in Fizzle Whizzle Pop. From
Correct.
Fizzle Whizzle root.
Exactly.
Okay.
It just happens to ferment in a way that makes it fizzy.
Okay.
Is it
And there's little ways when
alcoholic?
you open it up.
We-
Well, I don't know what alcohol is.
Well, you said ferment.
Oh, yeah, well, there's booze in everything.
Okay.
What's the point of drinking
That's true.
otherwise?
Do
Well,
they have
they're
fizzle milk?
disinfectant.
Do they have fizzle milk?
Fizzle, like milk the plant?
I just want milk,
fermented.
but I like to put fizzle in front of things now because it's fun.
He just says Fizzle. I approve of it.
I thought that's how things were done here. I
This
apologize.
is my Fizzle Guantao.
Fizzle down.
Oh, God.
I fizzle rage.
He has a glass of milk that has the root in it, but it's not fermented.
Thank you, my friend.
It adds like a strawberry flavor.
Yeah. I would like to say that I do buy Knock a drink and try to better explain the Duran thing as best as possible.
It's probably a good idea.
That seems
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
How do you know it? You weren't there.
I heard tales around campfires at
Okay.
nights.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was talked at length multiple times.
And he was there for the final fight.
Yeah, and the more we talked, the less we had to hear of singing. So it was usually a better option for the group.
Not even here. He got that. Poor Bard.
He's not here to defend himself. He gets picked on.
Also
For
when
any
he's
of
here.
us. Especially when he's here.
I'm sure Nock appreciates the explanation.
Yeah, I would try to do it on air, but it's not going to work. Just go listen back to this episode.
Here is a podcast.
Yeah.
Go back in time.
And I'm listening in, and I just say, I'm sorry to hear about your friend.
Thank you. He was a good man. He was my dearest friend, and I'm very sorry to hear of his passing. But
Twice.
twice apparently.
Three times. Actually,
Yeah.
It sounds like the first time this Rathmore guy just
Oh,
didn't know what he was
guy.
talking about.
It sounds like the first time Rat just didn't look.
Yeah.
Just like the DM had to take a shot and just like died more than that. I killed him so many times.
So
Rat
many
is my
times.
most targeted. Oh my
I guess Nock would also tell you a little bit more of his history and his past with Durand and how they
I was
met.
just about to ask, yes.
Oh, do you want details?
Please.
Um,
You mentioned a great war that you had met in.
yeah, should I do this in character voice?
Yes.
Yes.
So I am roughly 150 years old.
You look good for 100.
I wouldn't
Thank
put
you.
you anywhere past 120.
Thank you.
I would have gone 125.
I was trying to be nice.
He's a little rough around the
But,
boss.
yeah.
You
Around the
look
what?
great. You
Thank
look
you.
great.
Thank you. Yeah, it is uncommon for a furbog to leave the village at all, but
What about travel on a ship as a cook?
that's unheard of.
Is there only one Furbolg village?
No. I am of the Storm Valley clan. Where you met me was the Storm Valley.
Oh, that's where I'm the king of now, right?
Yes.
I bet maybe my liege. And he bows.
You should know all these things.
Oh, get up.
I haven't got out much. No, I was roughly 100 years old when I felt called to leave the village to protect others, and I joined the army of the nearby nation, and I can get into way more detail about all of that, but I won't now. We'll do that later. But I war broke out. It was the Five Nation War. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Not the Five Nations.
Yes. It's where the Five Nation Council came from. Everybody knows about the Five Nation Council.
Oh, they tell
We
me.
mentioned it in the last episode.
It's in our history class
Yeah.
at school.
I totally name dropped it earlier
to lead into this.
I read
But-
a book once. There was a battle of 5 nations.
But that was so long ago. You have to be really. Oh.
Looking
Exactly.
good.
When I
Looking good.
when I met Durand, he was but a young man. He was 20. He was a recruit, a paladin who was assigned to my squad that I led, and we bonded during the war and fought many fine battles together. And it was after that we formed the Onyx Shields. So we fought as the Shields for many years, foiling villains, criminals, corrupt rulers. It was when we were approached to basically eliminate an entire clan of tieflings that had been rampaging that I had to step away. I could not be party to murdering essentially an entire community, despite what they had done. So it was at that point that I returned to the Storm Valley and have been there ever since.
Retired home.
Yes, reconnecting with nature and being there to defend my people if needed.
How long ago did you come across these tieflings, if I may ask?
I never actually went myself. It was we were approached by the ruling council of a city called Cliff's Edge that had a collection of tieflings nearby that had been raiding, and you mentioned a name earlier, Blag, that sounded vaguely familiar. It may have been the community that I speak of.
The Red Halls?
Yes, that's it. That's the one. Yes. And it was at that time that I stepped away and I passed leadership of the Shields to Durand. There was some infighting. A couple of the members, perhaps you've met them, Woodtusk, Colin, wanted to.
I love that guy, Woodtusk.
Woodtusk, yes. So you have met him.
We have met
he's
Woodtusk,
a
a brave
dog.
warrior.
He is a strong fighter, but he has a very violent nature, and they pushed to take this job to fight the tieflings, and I could have no part of it. So I never went to the Red Halls myself. I have not met these tieflings, but my understanding is the Shields were victorious, and apparently that is where Durand met this Wrathborn.
It would seem as so. Well, also we know that.
I'm sure that was all explained to you in length at some point in the past, and
I believe over a campfire.
I don't want to go. I don't want to do that to you guys. It's too much.
Understandable.
I'll tell you more later.
Fair enough. And how about you? What's your game?
I know this sounds like lazy storytelling, but no one expected this. I just kind of forced this because it was entertaining to me.
Well, I mean, we're at the bar. We're
Yeah, we
sharing
should
some
get
drinks.
this out.
We're learning
Absolutely.
about each other. Yeah.
Well,
That's appropriate sound.
Yeah, we're at the bar.
yeah,
It's-
I'm pouring
Foley.
myself a drink. I feel I came here because there is something that I must do in this area. There is much that I could tell of my life, but it is a long story, and I don't know if all of it is truly relevant right now. But for now, I guess what you all need to know is I've been traveling around the last 7 years or so, sometimes alone, sometimes with friends of mine, essentially just going where we are needed, fighting injustice and those things that are dangerous for those who cannot help themselves. It sounds silly, a little bit silly.
Not at all. I was on a similar quest for some time, though my motives were somewhat ulterior.
Well, that is honorable, I must say.
Ulterior motives? Yes.
No, the same quest.
Yeah.
Friend,
And I tweak
Felix,
his cheek. Yes.
Will you tell us where these friends of yours are?
Well, I have a family, if you would call it that. My family is at I guess you could call it a shrine. They're my deity. They maintain it. I don't know if they are still there. I told them to leave. There was a danger, but for now that is where they are. Those that were traveling with me have set off on their own path. So for now I am alone, but maybe not alone now so much as I
What was
have met
this
all of you.
danger you warned them of?
In a nutshell, The reason I am very suspicious of my kind is that I came from a place and my family were not good people. My parents and the church that we were a part of, they worshipped a extremely dark god, and I turned away from that life. I've been gone for many years, almost all my life, and now I do what I can to stamp out wherever the traces of it may be. I don't know if I will ever find them, but if I hear of any tieflings in the area or anybody who is a worshipper of this dark god, I have to attempt to stop them. It is my purpose.
Was his name like Beelzebub or something like that? We had
No.
Beebubs.
It is not. It is not.
You're going through the list of all the demons.
Mephisto, Beaker.
As a day.
No. His name is not worth uttering. It is vile.
Voldemort.
Exactly.
Should not be named.
Von Overdorf.
Paladi.
We'll
Oh my
Not
God.
again.
Well, this is my hometown. We welcome you all. So, my father is the chief. You kind of gathered that. I don't know what's going on. We're trying to figure it all out.
He was not ill when you left?
Not that ill. I mean, he was ill in because he was a whizzle fizzle.
Right.
But he's not like he wasn't
Ill and whizzle fizzle and fizzle whizzle with the fizzle root. Pop. Pop.
You're very good at all these names.
I am losing track, I must be honest.
For shizzle, my nizzle, whizzle.
You will have to translate later.
I can
Again,
say
this is
them, I
not-
don't understand.
This is not my first language, though. I get
ours.
confused.
I'm not sure it is a language.
So we're just trying to figure out what's going on. I don't, there wasn't a war, there wasn't strife, there wasn't ogres or giants or fogres or whatever we're calling them above. So I appreciate any help.
Was there anybody else that came into the town? Any other...
I've been gone for years. I don't know.
Well, maybe, yeah. I just don't know if there are any newcomers to the area. At least in your village.
I don't know. We'll have to ask around, or maybe we'll go figure out the giant thing.
Okay.
And then, might as well have Blag tell you a little about himself.
I'm so interested about you, Black. This has to be a good story.
My tale is short and not convoluted.
You don't have a tale right now. It comes out later.
Right? Oh, yes. She does not know this.
Oh, awkward. Here's my tail. I turn into an animal with a tail.
Yes.
Very
Be
specific.
distracted.
Oh, I like your tail. It is cute.
Through hardships in my youth, I was forged, one could say, in pain and magic. There was a war with the southern Guilderlands. I am from the northern Guilderlands, so named for the fields of wheat adorning the outside of their gates. The ruler, the Hall Father, went to war with his sister, the leader of the southern Guilderlands. She started the war. She wanted to be the leader of both. We, of course, in our patriotism, wanted nothing but peace. But she brought war to our doorstep. My father and mother were the chief wizards of their community, of our community also. That's who we live together. And as people do. And so they were the chief wizards and advisors to the Hall Father. Once the southern Guilderlands depleted most of our typical army, a magic act was put into motion by one who also shall not be named. But the children of my village were turned into warriors through magic. Before the transformation could be completed on myself, my mother, in rage, struck my father down, killing him, and was arrested for it. I, now with cunning of warrior, but still mind of child, went to war. Through avails, I became some sort of folk hero. As I returned to the village victorious, our army of barbarian children having won the war, I decided foolishly to attempt to break my mother out of prison. I was found out. She was moved without my knowledge. Without my knowledge also, she was with second child. When the child was born, it was immediately taken from her and given simply a designation, and my mother became a villain, but misused by the same creature that shall not be named, and I went on a pilgrimage to find her, attempting to do whatever good I could along the way.
And if anyone is looking at VLX, she just has like tears streaming down her face from your story because it's so sad.
Thank you.
And she just like goes to you and she's like, "Oh my darling," and she just gives him up like a mama bear hug because she just feels so sorry for you.
Black freezes up a little bit, but then untenses and hugs back.
Good touch, good touch.
Yes, thank you. You never know. But no, yes, then I hug back. But I say that in my real voice. No.
I'm sorry that you had to suffer so much as someone so young.
I thank you, but it is all to good end. I've met good friends, had good fun, particularly a canyon, perhaps we'll tell you someday.
I would love to hear it.
And was eventually reunited with what turned out to be my sister and my mother, free of influence.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. We need some tunes. Yeah.
Is your sister around now, or is she somewhere else?
She is somewhere else. She actually helped us get here pretty quickly. She has all sorts of funky magical powers I don't really understand. But,
That is
you know,
interesting.
yeah. So when eventually I hope to get back to my hometown. I hope they make it there safely and are embraced now that all is revealed.
Yeah, we met up after the greatest guy in the world died. I really missed her.
Second greatest Name after you.
Oh,
I get him another glass of milk.
Oh, I love to see the love between friends.
Yeah, he died in a very heroic fashion, which you don't have to go into, but
It was beautiful.
we've been fighting everyone else's demons since then.
Pretty much.
And that's when Wrath killed Duran.
And then my mom made him a living skeleton monster or something.
Oh my!
Killed him a
Then we
third
became
time.
gods. Fought
a
a
time.
brain cloud thing.
With tentacles.
The tentacles were nice.
The
They
first
were a
time
touch.
I was not
Moved by tentacles.
moved by tentacles. Yes.
And then we came through a portal, ended up here, ran through some lava, met Moss/Nox, and then found you. And you were picking on a poor gnome. Is that what happened?
I wasn't picking on it.
Then we fought a giant and saved a gnome. Then we came in and went to visit his father.
You are giving me so much information. I was present for this part, though, so you guys were okay.
I was distracted by the candy.
That's okay. I have more candy where that came from.
Oh, thank you, maker of Nom Nom.
You got it. My sweet.
That was my mom, right? Oh, nom,
Nom Nom
eh.
Nom Nom. Maker of Name Name. Whizzle Fizzle.
Name,
Fizzle
name, no!
Whizzle.
Man, I just shoot candy. I call it as my power.
That's your magic item.
Yes, her magic item's unique. I love
I've
it.
been training for this my whole life.
Well, that's
What
so we can
kind
keep
of candy, though? Now we need more specific.
Oh, any candy.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
If it's mine, it's lemon heads. I fucking love
Whatchamacallit?
lemon heads.
It's just all licorice
Whatchamacallit?
flavored.
Yeah. If it's somebody I hate, it's only like those old, like those peanut chews. I hate those things. Gross.
I like them, but Blag doesn't. So,
Blag.
yeah, so we're good. We're
I would
fine.
get you peanut chews if you like. But I don't like.
I like the nom noms you gave me before.
I guess we should go. I mean, if Blag didn't have too many milks and he can still walk,
I'm doing fine.
we put chocolate in the last one, so I don't know how he's holding
I'm
up.
a little bit milked out. We can go. I gotta walk it off.
Oh, when you have to crawl back up the water slide, it sobers you up.
That's good.
Oh my god.
That sounds like a terrible system.
It's like a setup for disaster.
We're working
Doc,
on
you
it.
haven't said something in quite some time.
when you come
He's
to
been drinking.
those who come to Fizzle Wizzle stay in Fizzle Wizzle.
Doc knew there was a great adventure coming, and he's just waiting for it.
Yes, so are we.
He's like, I got what the wrong.
Yeah, I think I might have misread those signs from the wind.
I'm a noble.
There might have been another group of adventurers coming.
Oh, while you were in the bar with us, you saw like 3 groups of adventurers go by, like decked out suits of armor.
Oh, look at those guys. Oh.
Can I go? No.
I'm stuck with these guys.
So are we getting up ready to leave?
Yeah, I think
Where
so.
are we going?
Oh, I wanted to ask.
I would say we visit the
Violex
giant.
takes this time as we're standing up, just to ask everyone. Does it? I do apologize. Now, I think I might have done some damage making those giants come back sooner rather than later by basically giving them this wasn't good. Positive reinforcement in a way. Do we go to see if we can just tell the giants, please don't come back because there is no food?
Yeah. Oh, well, here's the paperwork for joining our group.
And it's just like a living will and burial rights.
Even distribution of your stuff between the 2 of us. Because he has to get one too. So.
I haven't signed anything. I've not seen any paperwork.
That's why we're giving it to you now.
Knock, have you gotten any of this paperwork?
This is all new to me.
Oh my
File in
God.
triplicates.
I'm going to have to read through this, I guess.
No, just sign it. Don't worry about it.
We have to claim half of
Are you going to
own
own my soul if I sign this? I'm a little suspicious.
Just firstborn.
Well, I don't.
That's how I got plague.
Oh.
It's true. My mother lost a lot in the war.
Oh, my sweet darling.
It's weird having a character who's sympathetic. It's really throwing me off.
I'm sorry.
Someone's kind?
I'm not used to that.
The group needed it.
I'm the nurturing presence. Even though Knock seems nice, I like
No, Knock is very nice.
He is. He's just very confused.
Yeah.
He does not
I don't know what's
on.
going
It doesn't
on.
get better.
He has sat on top of a hill looking at trees for like the last 20 years. That's awesome. This is a little overwhelming.
That is awesome.
All right, so I say we go figure out some giant stuff.
I believe we choose. I also, yes, giants.
I will follow you.
Wherever you may go.
Did you guys head out? Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to the contract, by the way. I will sign it later. For now, I'm just going to put it in my bag.
That's
That's a
fair.
good life call.
So I will tell you the fine print later.
Thank you, Black. You are my friend.
Yeah,
Black blushes.
You head up the elevator, back out the cave entrance, and you look up towards the peak, and you see that it's not really an easy road, so you guys crack your necks, do a little stretch, and get ready for one heck of a climb.
Hey, everybody. Before we continue, please take a moment to check out this other podcast that we hope you'll love.
Hello, listeners. My name is Austin Moraga, host of the Ironbound Chest, a new interview podcast that focuses on discussing monthly topics relating to D&D and TTRPGs. Each week, I aim to bring on someone from around the community. Podcasters, streamers, world builders, writers, dice makers, map makers, mini painters, homebrewers, cosplayers, singers, artists, illustrators, crafters, collectors, creators, and listeners. The chest is slowly but surely being filled with amazing and wonderful things, and I invite you all to help me in this task. You can find me on Spotify and almost wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for The Ironbound Chest. You can even find me on Twitter and Facebook. So I hope you take the time to listen and to help me add some wealth to the Ironbound Chest.
Words hurt, guys. Words hurt. Especially as the narrator for this podcast, and I still hear everything. It's fine. I'll be the bigger half-elf and rise above it as usual. No major plugs this week. I won't do them every outro. But I would like to mention that we got some killer drawings of some of the crew on Twitter and Facebook. Check them out. Anyway, what will these jerks run into while climbing their jerk mountain on their jerk quest for jerks? Hell if I care. I mean, find out next time when we roll another intelligence check.
Okay.
You have an explicit tag.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever I'm ready? Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Violex. If you would be so kind as to go on the Facebook and tell all your friends about Intelligence Check, that would be absolutely wonderful. Also, we have a Discord, and you can find that information in the episode description. Yes. Okay. Thank you.